What's up, guys? It's me, Jordanthevoicesguy, and yes, we're back at it again with just audio because, again, don't have my charger yet, but I plan on buying one later on Amazon, so hopefully it'll be here in time for next week, so stay tuned for that. Life's good right now, getting accustomed to my schedule, figuring out, I know where all my classes are, don't need to navigate anymore. Uh, I'm figuring out, how much time I have in between. What can I do? Do I have time to eat? One of the most valued things of a college student, eating. Do I have time for it? And finding out, the best spot to eat on campus. Everything's good. And, one thing you gotta do when you start off at a new school is try to find things that you like and how you can do them. Are there certain sports you like to do? Are there certain clubs you want to be a part of? Me personally, I'm an improv kid. Back in high school, we had a school improv team that I'd known about since I want to say in 6th grade. I had seen it for my sister's orientation. I was like, wow, that's the improv team. I loved it. And I said, maybe I'll do it in high school. I don't know. And I remember freshman year when I was in high school, I saw the team. I went to like almost all the shows. And I idolized those guys. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. Next year I'll audition and I'll be ready. So 10th grade I auditioned, and it was just horrible because I do impressions and stuff, and people at my school already knew I did that. And so in my head I was like, oh, they already know I can do that. I need to show them I can do other stuff. And so I went out of my way to not do impressions during my audition, and it was just horrible. Some parts were good. I remember at my audition, everyone had to do an improvised monologue for 30 seconds. And mine was about candy, so I did mine about, like, trick or treat. Actually, no, that was the next year, sorry. That year, they just had me talk about my impressions, because that was, like, all they knew about me. And that went okay, but then, the rest of it was just bad. And I knew I didn't make it. I think that was good that I knew that it was just bad and I didn't make it. So that when I saw that my name wasn't on the list, I was like, it makes sense. But then I still came to all the shows, and I watched, and I supported the team, and I, learned from, things I saw on stage, and I said, okay, I'll come back next year. Sure enough, I auditioned the next year. Then I had monologue on candy, and then, during the audition, you play games and stuff with other people auditioning, so they can see, how you're going to interact on stage, and, how you treat your stage partners, and, how well you can improvise, not, while you're on stage. So I did get on the team, except I wasn't a direct member of the team because I don't know if this is a thing with other teams. We had a role called Mr./Miss Voice. Basically, this person is a team member, but during the shows they sit off to the side and they keep score. They typically aren't seen, and they just kind of maybe play music if they need it, and that's all that person does. Maybe they'll play line games. And so they had that position open. They said, yeah, usually, if someone doesn't make the team, but they still want to, like, be here, maybe join the team later, then they can be Mr. Voice or Miss Voice. And we just had, like, write it on a card. And I remember I wrote on the card, hey, love to be on the team, but I would actually prefer to be Mr. Voice. I don't know. It was just something I wanted to try out, being an announcer, because, I love a lot of big announcers, many of whom have passed away, like Don Pardo from, It's Saturday Night Live. And you had Gary Owens, live from downtown Burbank. Wasn't that good. But you did it better, obviously. But yeah, so I said I'd like to do that. And so they read that and they said, all right, if this kid wants to do it. So they let me do it. And I did that for the entire year, and that was fun. And that was my junior year. Senior year, I was back on the team again. And they're saying, instead of just, like, getting a Mr./Miss Voice at the start of next year, why don't we, like, get someone now and train them to, do it in the future? And I said, all right, that's fine. And so I had this protege, I guess, is the word. And so she was Miss Voice. And so during the shows at the start of the year, I would, like, do it for the most part. She would, like, help out. And then gradually, like, she would do more and more. And then last couple shows, I didn't do it at all. It was fun seeing this person grow into the role and make it their own, because Personally, I changed a bit because during our first show when I was in junior year, uh, the sound booth in the back wasn't working, so we couldn't use it. And so I remember I was sitting there and I thought, well, what if I went off to the side of the stage? And then, our theater teacher, she said, sure, fine, I'd give it a shot. So I went down like where everyone could see me, which I don't know if it had been done before, and I did that. And then after the first show, because I took too long announcing everybody's names, uh, I thought, well, what if I had music? So I would like have to keep it under a certain amount of time. So I took the theme to Conan, and I would announce the names to that, and we all had like funny nicknames and whatnot. And so I told her, Miss Voice, I was like, hey, this is what I've been doing since last year. You can use it if you want. You can change it up, do whatever you want. Make it your own. And I think she is. And it's fun because, now that I've graduated and I'm no longer on the team, I actually have friends who weren't on the team before who were still in high school and recently got on the team. I think that's really cool. I got to see that the other day, the whole list of kids who made the team. And I was really happy. I am unhappy because I realize I won't be able to go to any of their shows throughout the year based on my school schedule. Because I'm too far to like just come. Because usually their shows on Thursdays, and so I have class on Friday. I wouldn't have time to come down and watch the show and come back. At least not comfortably. I wouldn't have a lot of like wiggle room. So yeah, that's kind of sad. But it's all right. I'm sure they'll do fine without me. I might be able to stop by like one or two practices at some point. Actually, just one, I think. But yeah, it'll be fine. It's crazy because when I came to college, I realized, oh, this college also has an improv team. So I went to one of their shows, and I noticed right away that it was pretty different. Because improv, there are two general forms of improv. There's short form and long form. Short form is what my team in high school did, which is basically more of like, let's do like 3-minute scenes, or we'll do a short game of some sort. Long form is basically like, hey, let's get a suggestion, and then we'll do like scenes and stuff for about 30 minutes or so based on that one or maybe two suggestions we get. And so they did mostly long form. They did like one game that I'd done before that was kind of different. Basically, it's this game that we called Shubdi-Doo. Basically, one person leaves the room, and then you get a suggestion, usually for a sport. So let's say you get hockey. So then one person will go up at a time, and you have to, tell the person with gibberish and motions that you're playing hockey. Now you take 3 things from hockey. You might say, okay, we have a hockey stick, but it's not going to be a hockey stick. What's the hockey stick going to be? You might say, it's a candy cane. Okay. So then you have to figure out some way to tell the person through gibberish emotions that you don't have a hockey stick. Instead of a hockey stick, it's a candy cane. Maybe you'll hold something, show that's curved with your finger, and you'll start licking it, and make it snow. Oh, candy cane. And then they have to, oh, shubba-dee-doo, shubba-dee-doo, I get it, And then maybe instead of a puck, what is it? It's I don't know. It's a sausage biscuit from McDonald's. You gotta figure that out. And then you say, oh, instead of a net, what is it? It's a tuna fish casserole. Oh my, You gotta figure out, how am I gonna get tuna fish casserole? So it's this fun game. They did it kind of differently because the way we did it was you would have one person act out each sport, and they would do every single thing encompassing in that sport. And we usually do 3. The way they did it, they would just have one thing, and then everybody would just collaborate and try to help figure it out. So it's a bit different, but it worked out fine, and So hopefully it's the same kind of vibe from this team. They seemed chill, which is always good. You don't want to have any tension in an improv team, which I've seen happen. I heard that it happened at my school's team before. I guess like a whole half of the team was like upset about something, and they just made a new team, and it was a whole mess. I've been on the team where people leave because of different reasons. I mean, I've considered leaving the team, but I never got close because it was like, it's not that big a deal. But you always gotta feel it out. So I'm excited. I got my audition for this team tomorrow morning. It's gonna be like, I don't know, 8 hours or so. I don't know how long. I think. Yeah, wait, no, it's from 9 to 6. So, well, it's 9 hours. Oh my. So hopefully there's a break in between somewhere. We had to print out a headshot. I just took a picture on my phone and just gonna bring it in. Yeah, probably just gonna play some games, see what's going on, and hopefully I make the team. If not, it's not so bad. So yeah, to anyone who was on my team last year, if you're listening to this, best of luck to you. Hopefully I'll be able to stop by maybe in December, I think. If you go to the school I go to now, wish me luck. I'll break a leg, or not really, but you know what I mean. And if I do make it, come to the shows. And if I don't, still go to the shows. Improv's fun. Check it out. If you want to get a real sense of what improv is, maybe look up some other improv videos on YouTube. Check out the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? Check out Wild and Out. It's another kind of improv show. Probably don't check them out if you're like really young, because I know some of you guys are pretty young. Sometimes the humor is a bit vulgar. So maybe watch with your older siblings or your cousins or parents or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's what's up in my life. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Watch out for clowns, because that's a new thing to worry about. I have enough problems as it is. I already got, racism, ISIS, now clowns. Like, come on now. Gosh. Anyway, take care. Have a good weekend. Bye.